Hello everybody and a very warm welcome back to my latest video. I do hope you're doing absolutely fantastic. It's been a while since I did a video in English and therefore I thought it's time again to do yet another one. A couple of months ago I did a video about certain records or artists which I couldn't include in my weekly segment of Hidden Jewels of Soul and Disco because there is zero information out there, or when there's information then it's just through the grapevine, and then it's sadly not possible for me to do such a video. But nevertheless, these are great records and they should be at least recommended somehow or be shown somehow. So therefore I'm doing this video to introduce you to some of these albums where I just couldn't find any information. If you find information or have information on certain artists, please write me, put it down in the comments below. I'll be very happy about that. And I would say let's start with one of my findings this year, and this is Charles Mann, Say You Love Me Too. This is a very early, not too early, but early Philadelphia International production. It was done in 1973, and it includes people like Vince Montana. We have on the drums Earl Young, we have on guitar Norman Harris. So if you are kind of familiar with the Philadelphia International recordings, Charles Mann is the go-to. It wasn't released on Philadelphia International, it was released on ABC Records, but you can feel that Philly vibe very, very deep within this record. It's thankfully way under the radar, so you still find it very cheap. It's out there, and I highly recommend that you check out eBay. I checked it 2 weeks ago and there were floating a couple of copies around. This was also released in Germany, and Charles Mann also released a couple of singles, and in the late 80s he did another album, but unfortunately at that time nothing really came out of this record. But I highly suggest that you check out Charles Mann, and I would say let's have a listen. My next recommendation is Lonnie Hewitt, Keep It Together. It was released on his label We Records, not to be confused with the Canadian We Records. It was released in 1977. It's his only album. He released a couple of singles on the label, but for me the most significant part of this record is what is written on the back, actually in this box, and I'll read it to you. This work is dedicated to the individuals that have been ripped off by those money changers, who think what is theirs and what is yours is theirs too. I dedicate this work to the hope that vision and truth will be justify our love and tenacity for the arts. Lonnie Hewitt. So for me this reflects so much from the music industry, what was going on back in the days, and I do hope that it's not happening nowadays, but artists have been ripped off. We've had a video, or I had a video a couple of days ago about the involvement of the mob in the music industry and all of these things. And therefore, next to the fact that the music you'll find on this album is a great mixture of R&B, funk and soul, I really value what he has written on the back of this record. Unfortunately, in recent years, this album got very expensive. So if you want to have an original copy of this album, you need to pay at least $100 or euros. In times when we have so many reissues, from Miles Davis to Led Zeppelin to Black Sabbath in pink colored, streaming yellow, whatever colored vinyl, I'm questioning once again, why are we in soul and funk so behind with reissuing some great material out there? But Leon Hewitt is one of those records I will highly suggest. He wrote most of the stuff on most of the songs of this album. You have story 1, story 2. You have an epilogue. So this is a kind of concept album, I would say. But it's I can't highlight enough how great this album is. And once again, let's have a listen.
My baby needs me. She needs me. This I know. And I need my baby.
It took me quite a few years to find a decent copy of this album. I was very lucky that someone at the Mega Record Fair sold a decent copy to a very fair price. So I would highly suggest put it on your want list or keep on checking out eBay about this record, because it's an absolutely winner in my humble opinion. If you love soul, you also at least like gospel music. And I recently discovered the Mighty Gospel Revelators of San Diego, California, and the album is called It's Time to Stop Playing with God. That's an absolutely great gospel record. It's not superly expensive. It's still one of those gospel records. At least there are many gospel records out there which are not expensive. The thing is, if a rapper or someone else finds a track on a certain gospel album and it's getting sampled, then it's getting very known that this track, the original track, is on that gospel record, so the price increases dramatically. But this is still one of those gospel records I would highly suggest, and it's still very, very affordable. I found copies around 20 euros or $20 here on the back. I hope you can see that. You can see the guys, and I would say, let's play a track. This is another gospel record I found, and it says Love. Let's just praise the Lord on MLYA Productions. I bought it just because of the cover, and it has some great gospel tunes on it. I show you the back of the record where you can see pictured some of the musicians, and it has also been signed up here for, can you see that, in 1979. And if you see a cover which might be unusual but still looks great, or if you see the picture quality is not good, I always at least give it a listen. And I especially like the version of I Can't Stop Loving Him Now. That's a beautiful song, but this whole album is an absolutely winner. So if you see it, grab it.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a little wreck like me.
Bobby Williams, the funky Superfly. If you love James Brown, this album is absolutely down your alley. Unfortunately, there are not a lot information about Bobby available. He recorded some tracks, he recorded that album, but somehow it's very difficult to track him down or find further information. But what he delivered on this album is super, super funky. Sometimes it's confusing to find out, is James Brown singing, is Bobby singing? It's an absolutely stellar record, and to give you an impression, let's have a listen.
Can we do it? You want some of the drummer? You want some of this funky, funky super soul right here? You want some of it? You got it!
A German record, yes. It's called Das unsichtbare Visier, which was a soundtrack recording of a TV series from Eastern Germany. And it's not Mike Myers. This is not Mike Myers. So like I said, it was a very successful TV show, and the soundtrack was highly regarded. And it's a kind of jazzy fusion, funky feeling to it. And it was released on Amiga, which was a label from Eastern Germany. And let me see. Here on the back you see some screen pictures, some pictures from the TV series. It was a spy series. So I highly recommend that you check out this record. You find clips on it on YouTube, but we will also play some snippets up here. Universal Jones Volume 1. Also a very cool, funky, soulish record. It was released on Verve. There was no Volume 2 to it, so you only find Volume 1. My biggest issue with this record, and I bought it sealed, it is by far the worst sounding record in my whole collection. Nevertheless, the music is great. Maybe it's my pressing, I don't know, maybe something went wrong, I'm still trying to figure it out if it's a pressing issue, but yeah, like I said, it's not sounding great, but still the music is absolutely vibrant. I really dig this group, and once again, let's have a listen.
Steady coming through. Whatever it is that I intend to do, I really do intend to do it.
Charles Williams became one of my favorite singers during the last couple of weeks. Charles Williams released this album. Love is a very special thing in Finland. It's not an American record. So the unconfirmed story is that he started to work on the album in the United States, but he met a girl from Finland and fell deeply in love with her and moved with her to Finland, and there he finished the album, and afterwards, through the grapevine, he kind of moved to Africa. So that's what I've heard. That's the only information I've got, and this is an absolutely stellar, beautiful record. Once again, unfortunately, if you want an original copy, it's super difficult to find, but there are reissues out there. And I've searched for this record a long time, because it's really, even in Finland, an obscure record. So I don't know what it is about, for example, with the record cover, because from eBay auction I've seen they wrote in a text, it's not the original cover, it's a photocopy of the original cover, and I saw it quite a few times. So I don't know what it is with the cover, but fortunately I finally found a version with which is almost near mint, super happy about it, which also included, and I never knew that even existed, it was included with an insert. Never seen it with an insert, so I'm super happy about this, and it's an absolutely stellar record. You'll find this record also on Spotify, you'll find it on YouTube, and I highly suggest that you check out this record. Hope that you found some records where you said, oh, I really dig that tune, I might get a little deeper into some of these artists, because like I said, I would love to make a bigger story out of these artists because they deserve it so much, but like I said, there's hardly any information available. If you like that video, please check out the playlist appearing here. I'm wishing you, wherever you are, whenever you are watching this, a fantastic day or night, and I catch you on the next one.